She's a little bit laying down. Is it good? Should it?
No, it's
she
okay. Now it's okay because these points are fixed at one, so it's okay. Then consider that the insertion point for the jawline, even if we are not doing with this patient, is here in front of the tragus. Okay. Then consider separately the midface and the lower face. Do not put threads from here to here, because you can have a nice fixation, but as long as she will open the mouth, you will lose the fixation of this part of the thread because it's mobile. So much more better to stay in this part and to work in this part from this point. This is a basic rule.
From any patient?
Almost.
Yeah.
This is, there is some threads.
Because when I left this area, absolutely
Yes.
this area improvement.
There is some patient who has this part very ptotic, okay?
Yeah.
You can sometimes notice that, okay?
Yeah.
It's not about jowl, this is just about jawline, and so you can also insert the threads here,
Okay.
just in order to work to this part.
Okay.
Because still fixation is present, but we work also on the posterior part of the mandible. In this case, when she will open the mouth, this fixation won't be lost.
Yeah. Okay.
So it could be an alternative, but when you notice that the patient need to be, like, it's not about parotid gland ptosis one, okay, 1 and 2. Good fixation. Don't go here. Here there is no fixation.
Do you
Please.
mean that we have one insertion, one
One.
entrance for this part and
Yes.
one for this part?
One for this
That's it,
part
Just
and
one
one for this
entrance
part.
for
Yes,
this
for
part.
every thread.
Even if I want to use many
A lot.
threads.
No problem. No problem. Why? Because this point, here we have the fascia, parotidial fascia. So the skin is mobile, but the underlying tissue are very firm. And the same here. The skin is mobile, but underlying tissue very firm. And so this is good fixation point. Okay. When you're working with threads on the face, please avoid straight vectors. Okay? The face is not flat. The face is round, convex, and of insertion. Okay? Because it's much more better.
We do like this, and then
Yes.
we draw
Exactly.
the line.
Direct cannula?
We can direct the cannula. I show you on the next page. And now I'm giving a general explication, okay? And then, of course, I will point out what we're going to do with her. But now I'm giving a general explication. If you do like this, when you put tension, this will happen. So, suspension effect, but gain in volume. And the same here. Do that. Don't do that. Because this is not natural. It is not natural. It is impossible. I mean, I'm not saying it's natural result. It is impossible. Okay. This movement is for the neck. This movement is for the neck. But when you're working on the face, the movement is this one. Everything is clear for you. In which way? In here, you pass through the first part. This is the fascia of the parotid, very firm. And then as long as you go further, you just lift a bit the tissue and pass with your cannula or needle in the tissue like that. This is very important in order to obtain suspension. I do not like to talk about lifting. Lifting is surgery. But suspension and to gain back volume. Midface, volume. Jawline, suspension. You can maybe make some chin contour with some injectables here in order to stress the tissue and to project a bit the line and to obtain a nice tension over here. But don't go for threads here, because here you're going to experience dimple from here since here, and it's going to be problematic for you and for your patient. And that thread is 50 centimeters long. Even to remove it is something important. Okay, so respect the indication and the points here, and we're gonna make our. It burns a bit, Madam.
هلا هاد تخدير.
Yeah. Anesthesia.
Here we are. 1 and 2. The point we.
Do you need light, doctor?
I will now. Not now. It's okay. Okay. Then we wait a bit in order to let the anesthesia act. Okay. This can be. Permanent, not at all. Permanent, not at all. Permanent
You
are
mean
prolene.
The effect will last
No.
or the thread
The thread will last
will last 1 year?
1 year. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not
Will
saying
totally
that.
absorbed or what?
Yes. I'm not saying that the thread will be entire. Will be fragments. But polycaprolactone lasts for 1 year because it's the scaffold we use to have this long-lasting effect.
لا مو علي.
يضل يعني قصده يضل
So
موجود
very
بس
important to
بس
put
هو
it under
يضل أكتر.
antiseptic condition. Very, very important.
Doctor, I want to ask you something.
Please.
Why most of my patients told me that I did threads before and nothing happened. 1-2 months and the effect why it immediately-
Probably is about
The
it's
problem-
about the material.
The PDL
the
threads.
material or
Well,
the
material and
impulse,
technique. Material and technique. Technique is something that Aptos conceived for the thread. I'm going to show you. Material is a general problem. I'll put my in the same way. And polylactic acid lasts for 6 months. That's true.
The
Good,
effect.
good stitches for surgery. But consider that they do not last for 6 months as a mechanic stitch. It lasts for 6 months histologically. But if you put a stitch of PDS, PDO, that's the same, or polylactic acid thread, in a 6 week, it will lost the force, the mechanic effects. Then it will resorb lately in 6 months. This is the big mistake. Because in 6 weeks, we cannot provide any result. 4 weeks is needed for the tissue to heal around the thread and to fix the barb. If after 2 weeks I start losing my thread, result cannot come. That's what I mean. Okay. So a lot of there are patients, practitioners scared because the threads are lasting a lot. Whatever. That's what we want. That's what we need in order to have some results. I'd be very glad to have not permanent thread, because the histology around the permanent thread is different. No cellular reaction, just fibrosis. Okay, madam. But what about your filler? If I'm saying that the filler you're using is lasting like 6 to 8 months, you're happy. What about 1 year? It's a bit more. Okay, so
Then the thread and the effect will last 1 year.
the effect will last even more. That depends upon the treatment you are performing, of course. Normally, the company. Okay. Now, like with filler, madam, okay? See? She's not experiencing any pain. Now it will burn a bit.
بيحرق شوي معلش هيدا مخدر حبيبي لسه ما بلشنا.
Unfortunately, the
Okay.
anesthetic solution is a bit
1 centimeter.
What?
How much did you inject, doctor?
Let's say that for half a vial, for half a face, could be nothing more than 3 ml.
خلصنا.
So be always very attentive not to exceed, because otherwise you're going to fill the face of your patient by your anesthetic solution.
يعني بنحط له 3 مللي تقريبا.
Very good, madam.
بكل جهة.
Okay. Now I'm going to skip the other side.
We will use this, huh?
Yes, I'll show you now the thread.
It's 7 centimeter.
Yes, make it just empty here. Okay, that's yours. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Here we are. Perfect. Another drape like this.
5.
And this again. Okay. And please assist you. Thank you very much.
ليش هيك دائما شايفة لازم نعمل مع انه الكفوف فيها ما انا معقمة الا اذا كل الوش
طبعا.
Okay. From this side, from this side. Okay. I will work from this side. Cannula. The thread is inside, 7 centimeter long. You see here, and you cannot see over there. It's inside. Okay. This is not blunt. Okay. This is sharp cannula. That means that it could enter the skin, but we're gonna make it more comfortable for her with a needle, and then we put inside. No exit point. The thread will be fixed in the tissue by itself. Okay? Look at this. Oh, patient does. Now, a bit, yes.
Yeah.
You enter. Okay? You just engage your thread in the tissue, like you are, and then you do like this. You are not have to pinch, okay? Because if you pinch, all the layers will come after you, and so the mass and the deep layer will come up. Rotate it on the plane you are. Just rotate it, and go to fix.
to do curved line.
Yes. See how it works. Okay. See, I'm gonna check all the part there. Everything is okay, madam? And then you just bury the tail of the thread in the tissue in order to have fixation. Okay? Then you check. There is a little tail over there.
ما بصير
You take your scissor.
هي لا تصير.
Maybe it's better for you to put some light if you want to take some scissor,
Light?
forceps. Yes, maybe for you because I don't know if you can see with the
شايفين شوي مبين ايه لونه احمر صح؟
لا أبيض.
ابيض
See when I pull,
Okay,
see
yeah.
the action? Here we are.
Then how many threads?
5 in this pack.
Each
Two,
pa- each
two
side.
then one you
5
choose
just 5 in
in this pack, yes.
Okay.
This is soft.
Did you have five?
لا لا هو بكل
Okay, you rotate. You must grab the tissue you're rotating. That's the effects you wanna have. Okay. You pass through, and then you just reach the lip, and that's it. Okay, look at this again. See how it works under the chin. Very good.
خلي الضوء
خليها كده.
See, very soft treatment, but you work in this case. This is not strong suspension effort. It's just to